All right, guys, so let's take a break from learning new things and let's practice some repetition. So, what we're going to need to do is create categories, and posts can have many categories. So, pause the video, try this on your own, and then come back to the video and see if what you write is actually exactly what I write, and if it's not, see how it's different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new model called category, and then I'm going to attach relations to and from the post model. So in terminal, I'm going to write lb model category. And for the most part, we're just going to hit enter on these except for the properties. So we're going to store it in MongoDB. We're going to set it as persisted model. It's going to be exposed via the API. We're going to allow the custom plural. I think this should get it right. So with loopback, being able to get plurals correctly, I've noticed that some things that end in Y, where the plural would be IES at the end of the word, it gets it right. So that's going to be fun to see as well. Common model is going to be common, and then the property names, we're going to have title, which is going to be a string. So just hit enter on required and default. We're going to have a slug, which is also going to be a string. And now we're going to say created underscore at, which is going to be a date. And hit enter, and we are done. So if I now go into category.json, the way that this is going to be set up seems a little bit backwards. And what I mean by that is, in order for the post to have multiple categories, the direction that we're setting this relation at is going to be a little bit backwards. So we need to set category belongs to post, and we need to set the post has many categories, where actually a category can have many posts. So let me just think about this for a sec. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll make it so right now a post will belong to categories. So it's actually not going to be backwards at all. So a category can have many posts. So under relations, let's go ahead and type post. And the type is going to be has many. And the model is going to be post. Save this. And in post.json, under relations, we are going to add a new one called category. And the type is going to be belongs to. Man. All right. Type is going to be belongs to. Model is going to be category. And then foreign key is going to be category ID. And let's save this. And now when I run npm start, we will have a new collection, which is a category. And so the way that these, well, first let's, okay, yeah, so it did get it right. It did get the plural correctly. When we post, we're going to be calling categories, even though the collection name is category. So that's pretty neat that Loopback is able to figure out stuff like that. You always want to check to make sure, though, to make sure that you're actually going to be posting or making requests to the correct URL. So the way this is going to work is that in a post, we can tie the post to a specific category. And in category, we can get a post and we can get the category. So we're going to be building out a category page, which is going to have an index of posts. It's going to look like the index page and the profile to an extent, where it's going to show kind of a grid of existing posts. And when we show the category, we're only going to make one API call, and that is going to be find one, because we're going to find it by slug. And then we're going to include all the posts directly within this call. And so this is going to tie back into discussing more about that filter object. As we can see here, we have the ability to pass a parameter to the URL called filter. And if you actually look on the right-hand side here, you can see an example where some field equals some value. And so we're also going to be able to include. So where is one keyword in the object, and another keyword is going to be include. We can also use the scope, and we'll discuss all this a little bit later. And I'll try and be as in-depth as I can with it. For right now, though, we've got our categories created, we've got our posts, we've got custom access tokens, profiles, and users. I think that's all the collections that we'll actually need in order to build out a blog website using our React application. Now, one thing actually is we actually need to set some access control on category. And because right now, anybody, even unauthenticated users, could post to that collection. So the easy way to do that is going to be find a model that has similar ACLs to what we want, and we're just going to copy and paste these. So the post has everyone is denied write access, the admin is allowed write access, and the editor is allowed write access. And so these are the rules that we want to apply to the category file as well. So I'm going to select all the objects in the list, not the array itself, and I'm going to copy it and then jump over to the category.json object or file, and under ACLs I'm going to click between these square brackets and I'm going to Control V and paste these ACLs. Now this is all you need to do to apply an ACL to a collection. So I'm going to hit save, and there we are good to go. So in the next video, I guess we need one more thing with the API before we can bring it back into the React application, and that's going to be file uploads. We need to be able to upload an image to a post, and so let's get into that.